This is a hot take, but a lot of countries that are considered first world in Europe, especially Western Europe, should not be considered first world countries.
Oh, I am locked in. I'm listening. Let's go.
And I say this like we just spent 2 weeks in Italy, and there's a lot of things that I absolutely love about Italy, but the trip that we had this year made me question, like, I don't think this is a first world country. Because last year we were in Rome and Florence and Milan, all these big cities. They're very touristy. And this year we were in Umbria, in a bunch of little cities, and then in Sardinia. When it is a luxury to have a bathtub, a dishwasher, AC.
Okay, so first world to you means having AC and a dishwasher? That's a new one. You can buy these things for your house if you'd like. They are available in Italy, just a lot of people maybe don't choose to implement them in their house. They don't need it. Also, we use stats regarding the quality of life to kind of judge whether or not a place is first world or not just what appliances and luxuries do you have in your home.
When it's a luxury to have a hospital within a 20-minute drive of you, like, you're not a first world country.
Hey, so there's a thing called like medical deserts, and the US has the exact same thing. You're in smaller rural towns, so yeah, maybe you didn't see a hospital. You probably also weren't looking out for one, let's be honest. And the US has, a very similar issue, if not even worse. Nearly 200 hospitals in rural areas, like, over the past couple decades have closed down, making it a longer distance to get to one for many Americans.
We don't have to talk about France because y'all have already been exposing just how much of a catfish that France is. The state of Paris right now is terrible.
Okay, again, kind of weird take. First of all, Paris doesn't equal France. France is a very large country. It would be very weird to, pick out LA and judge the entire United States or even the state of California just on that one city. France still ranks pretty high in overall infrastructure, healthcare, education. Yeah, of course, it's a little bit messy, like most big cities around the US, especially, I think, the most visited city in the entire world. They're not going to be perfect. They're going to have their issues.
Like, Americans are so scammed into thinking that they're doing so well because they have free healthcare, and like it's bullshit.
Girl, Italy's healthcare ranks above the US. We have shorter life expectancy than them, more maternal deaths. Like, what? It's certainly not perfect. Nothing is. But it's definitely better than ours.
Now, the Scandinavian countries, I feel like they have it figured out. I haven't been there, but just from what I've heard, the people I met, like what they talked about, I feel like they have it figured out. Switzerland, they also seem like they have their shit together.
Okay, so now this is wild because I agree here. You're right, a lot of them do have it figured out, but where's the disconnect? Because Italy is essentially doing a version of that. Universal healthcare, public infrastructure, high taxes, yes, but lots of social safety nets. Italy does the same thing, just in its own way. So it's amazing when Norway does it, but not first world when Italy does it? What?
I got into my big American F-150 when we got back from the airport, and I'm like, this car wouldn't even fit on these streets.
That's a flex. European cities were built for humans, not vehicles. The streets are narrow. Yeah, your big F-150 isn't gonna cut it there. Thank God, it's a gas guzzler. How is this a flex? Only an American can justify this being a flex. Imagine wanting a big F-150 gas guzzler over walkable cities. Public transportation. Being less car dependent.
These cities, they're old, right? They existed long before plumbing and AC and electricity and all these things were invented, and so they had to adapt, accordingly when these inventions came about. But still, like, there's just something where, like, I love Italy. I would love to visit more countries in Europe. I think there's so many great things about them, but I don't think that you can truly call it like first.
So you love a place, but you definitely misunderstand it. It checks every box of a highly developed nation, first world, life expectancy, healthcare, infrastructure, education. Calling it not first world because your Airbnb didn't have a bathtub is crazy talk.
But a lot of these countries are just really like not first world, like to the standard of America's first world. And I know that that's a hot take, but I think it's true.
So let's bring this back down to reality. Let's talk about the things that actually matter when we're talking about first world countries, of course. Higher education, good public infrastructure, healthcare, life expectancy, worker protections. Most of Europe ranks higher than the US in many of these factors. What you're describing is a vibe, a personal preference, not facts. Just because your F-150 can fit down a street somewhere in Texas but not somewhere in Italy doesn't make Italy not a first world country or any less developed than the US. You're allowed to have your personal preferences and opinions, absolutely. But if you're going to stand up here and talk about how one country is less developed than the other and your biggest gripes are ICE, I didn't even touch on that in this video, by the way, but she does bring it up, that your F-150 can't fit down a street, lack of bathtubs and AC. we need to bring it back down to reality and look at the facts and see that Italy is very much a developed country deserving of the term first world, because if the US is deserving of that term, Italy is definitely deserving of that term as well. As we've learned, they check sometimes more boxes and rank higher than the US for many of the things that consider a country a developed nation. I hope this helps, and I hope you enjoy your next trip to Europe with an open mind.